Hey guys, it's Almost here. And so this video is kind of different. So I had to write a speech in my speech and debate class on a topic, and I chose the pro-life and pro-choice issue. Um, but if you can't respect my opinions or respect my right to have an opinion, then just don't watch the video because I don't need you commenting something that's gonna personally attack me. I respect your right to have an opinion and your opinion, so I ask that you do the same for me. So I hope you enjoy this video, at least learn something, even if you don't agree with me. And I mean, no hate at all. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. Hello, my name is Owen Lewis. Today I'm giving you a speech debunking common arguments against being pro-life, while providing evidence as to why everybody should be anti-abortion. A list of common pro-choice arguments include: my body, my choice. We don't know where life starts. It's just a clump of cells. And what about rape, incest, and disability cases? And what if the mother's life is at risk? Well, I want to start with a quote. I've noticed that everyone who is for abortion has already been born. That quote was from Ronald Reagan. Just because something is legal does not make it right, like slavery, for example. Okay, now let's start with probably the most famous slogan of the pro-choice movement: my body, my choice. I've heard the argument plenty of times saying that a fetus in a woman's body is the equivalent to like a kidney, and it is her body, so she can choose to rid of it as well. Well, there's one major flaw in this statement. A kidney or an organ in your body shares the same DNA as the rest of your body, but the fertilized egg at fertilization creates a brand new unique set of DNA, proving it is a brand new separate life form from the mother. And if it is really a part of her body, does that mean she has two hearts, two brains, 20 fingers, etc.? Of course not. They're the baby's body parts, proving it not to be the mother's body, but the baby's. Now let's take a look at the argument. We don't know where life starts. Well, here's some reasoning for life starting at conception. Like mentioned above, at fertilization creates a brand new set of DNA, giving it life. Furthermore, multiple studies have shown that 95 to 98% of biologists believe that life does indeed start at conception. And even if we don't know where life starts, shouldn't we give the benefit of the doubt to life? Abortion at any stage is murdering a human life. Now let's tackle another big slogan used. It is just a clump of cells. Well, yes, it's just a clump of cells, just like I'm a clump of cells and you're a clump of cells. We are all just a clump of cells. Now, this statement really does nothing to further the pro-choice agenda. Now, what about rape, incest, and disability cases? Let's talk disability and incest first. In America, 67% of children diagnosed with Down syndrome are aborted. That number is shocking and disgusting. Just because a child is born with a disability or deformity from incest, that does not mean that the child is worth less than a baby born with completely normal conditions. Just because my parents knew I would be born with one working lung and months early, not knowing if I would even survive my own birth, does not justify the fact that I could have been killed legally due to that. Now let's get into rape. If any part of this speech is going to upset people, it will be this. I think abortion should be illegal in 100% of cases, including rape, because one wrong does not justify another, especially against an innocent human being like a baby. Just because the so-called father of the child committed an atrocity against the mother does not give the mother that right to go and commit another atrocity against this child, who did nothing wrong and is completely innocent. Why kill an innocent child for the sin the father committed? Also, adoption exists. It is a beautiful option if the mother is scared of being reminded of her rapist. Women who abort their child conceived from rape take longer to deal with the rape than women who keep or put the child up for adoption. This is because most women first have to deal with the fact that they killed an innocent child and or the trauma of going through an abortion. Then they can move on to healing from the rape itself. Whereas women who keep or put the baby up for adoption move on faster because they didn't have to go through the trauma of an abortion, and they can start to heal from the rape. In conclusion to this, when you use rape, incest, disability, poverty, or foster care to justify abortion as necessary, you are telling everyone who were conceived in or overcome these circumstances that their life is not valuable. Life as a human is not conditional, it is inherent. Now, before we get to the final argument, I'd like to give any Christians who are on the fence on the issue some quick reasons as to why we should be 100% pro-life. First off, let's discuss Imago Dei, the Latin term of the image of God. In Genesis 1:27 it is written, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them." It tells us about the connection between man and God and how much he cares for us. It tells us that God puts his signature on our souls. So why should we take the life of someone God made in his image? God obviously values their life enough to create them. Still need more evidence? In Jeremiah 1:5, God is speaking to Jeremiah, calling him to be a prophet. God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." God knew us before our parents even thought of having us. God had a plan for our lives before the thought of our conception even occurred. If God knew us before he formed us in our mother's womb, why should we be okay with ending a life that God knew and loved before we knew? A life that was made in the image and likeness of God, and a life that Jesus died for knowingly and willingly on the cross. Finally, what if abortion is medically necessary to save the mother's life? Well, this argument is another one that just furthers blatant false information. Even in the most high risk pregnancies, there is no medical reason as to why the life of the child needs to be intentionally and directly terminated with abortion. In situations where the mother's life is at risk, the pregnancy must end, not by abortion, but by an early pregnancy. These types of situations occur most commonly in cases where the mother has dangerously high blood pressure, cancer, life threatening diabetes, decompensating heart disease, or other serious medical conditions. Even with preterm deliveries around 22 to 24 weeks, the baby can still survive, which is sad because the baby can also be aborted at that same time of 22 to 24 weeks and even later. So, why is it that a baby at that age inside of a womb is less important than a baby at the same age outside of the womb? So, abortion is not medically necessary. For the arguments debunked above, I believe all life is sacred, and abortion in 100% of cases should be illegal and unthinkable. Thanks for watching, guys. That was my first time reading it. I had like a teleprompter thing on my Chromebook going, so that's why I wasn't looking at the screen the entire time. But I really was just using this to send a clip of to my friend so he could hear my speech and see what he thought. So if this even gets uploaded, I hope you enjoyed it. Even if you don't agree with my side, I hope you at least learned something. Um, but yeah, please, no hate. I mean, I was just giving my side. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.